Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a couple minutes here and put together a little video of a drum book I've been using. Now, a couple of years ago we were touring through the UK and had the chance to see Marco Mendoza's band live in Liverpool, I think it was, and he had John Macaluso playing drums for him on that tour. So after the show, I got a chance to talk to John, and he told me about a book that he had written that I ended up ordering, and it's right here in reverse image, unfortunately, but I just wanted to take a minute to go through some of the stuff in the book, basically for my drummer friends out there. Now, John's played with guys like Yngwie Malmsteen, TNT, Symphony X, James LaBrie, so it's geared towards, you know, heavier playing metal, progressive kind of stuff, but that was like right up my alley, so it's perfect. The first chapter in this book is linear beats, and what linear beats are is where you're never playing two things at the same time. So looking at number 3 on this section. So if we slow that down a little bit, you'll see I'm never hitting two drums or cymbals at the same time. Probably my favorite one in this section is number 11, and what we have in 11 is we have an alternating pattern going from the outer part of the ride to the bell of the ride, like that, and that gives the rhythm a little different texture, a little different feel. And what's cool about it is we're getting two sounds out of the same source, the same cymbal, the same surface. So sounds like this. So there's 20 cool beats on this linear beat section. Now onto chapter 2, and I'll just do a couple things from a couple different chapters in this book, because I mean I could spend all day going through cool stuff in here. But along the same concept of the linear beats, we have linear fill-ins. Same deal, except my fill-ins, I'm never going to be hitting two things at the same time. So like number 1 will be like again. So, a 1 measure groove in front of that, and then play the fill-in. Probably my favorite one on this page is number 3, and it's just a simple little 3-note pattern going kick, snare, hi-hat that repeats until through the course of the measure. Another cool one on here was number 14. Something like that will pick up the tempo a little bit. So number 14 on the linear fill-in page. It's a perfect stuff if, let's say, you're struggling with some of your creativity on your fill-ins or whatever, and you kind of tend to seem to go do the same things. Take a look at a section like this, and it'll give you lots of new ideas, help your creativity, and give you some different things, different challenging things to play. Section 8, chapter 8 of this book is double bass hand foot answering, and that's just like it sounds, where I'm going to play something with my hands and then copy it with my feet. So the basic number 1 on here, just to here's a cool one. Hand foot, double bass hand foot answer. ring, another cool concept. And now, those are some of the more straightforward ones. There's some in here that get really kind of tricky and complicated. So yeah, it's, you know, for super advanced drummers and stuff, there's still a lot of killer stuff in here. Another really cool section, how I mentioned before that this was, you know, John's played with a lot of metal bands and stuff like that. So this is kind of a lot of double bass and things like that. Chapter 6 is double bass drags, which is, you know, like kind of stuff like that, the 2 or 3 note groupings that give you a little accent inside the rhythm. So like number 1 on the double bass drag section is number 5. Number 11. Number 12. So that's chapter 6, double bass drags. And I could spend all day going through cool stuff in this book, but you know, we have 1, limited attention span, and 2, a limited amount of time to put a video up. I wanted to talk about one final section on here, and I think what I'll do is I'll just play it, and then I'll talk about what's happening for a minute. So here's what is transcribed, and then we'll go into detail on what's happening. There is I am playing a kick snare pattern in the 7/8 time signature. 7/8 time is 7/8 notes in the measure 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And then on top of that, I'm putting in a 4/4 quarter note ride pattern. So if you are familiar with this stuff at all, you'll know that 4/4 will not go over 7/8 equally as we go along. So what happens is on the first measure, it sounds on. And then the second measure sounds off because they don't line up, you know, equally. So we take that 7/8 kick snare pattern, put the quarter note ride pattern over it, and first measure is on, second measure is off. And that's what the section's called in the book, is the 7/8 on-off pattern, where it's 1. That was just one other thing that I wanted to talk about in that book is that I really like that concept because it's just some cool stuff in there. A lot of other cool stuff in the book, like ghost strokes, other odd time signatures, talking about hand technique, foot technique. There's some solos that are transcribed in there. So like any of my drummer friends out there interested in this, let me know. And we, you know, I'm thinking of guys like Tim Smith up in Idaho, Trevor Rasmussen up in Ogden, Casey Frederick and Meter Manos down in Salt Lake, Meters down at Salt City Drums. So go see him for your needs there. Joel Stevenette teaches a lot. He would, you know, there would be a lot of cool stuff in here for him. A guy like Mark Dickey is good, really good metal player down in Price, who also runs Lee's Music. So if you're down in Carbon County and need some stuff, go see Mark at Lee's Music. Probably one of Salt Lake's top teachers, Mike Dale. I bet, you know, he could find a lot of cool stuff in here. And then, you know, outside the state, guys like Matt Thompson, who's a, you know, big time metal player down in Denton with King Diamond. Mike Humbert with Steelheart, he teaches a ton when they're not on the road. A guy on the East Coast like Dan Maloney, he would like some of this stuff. And then, oh yeah, back to, you know, a guy like Derek Briggs here in Salt Lake who teaches. So yeah, you know, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff in this book. It's worth checking out. And so if you've made it this far, I thank you for watching. And as Nate Brown at Online Drummer would say, keep drumming.